Back in the BetCM Ross SportsLink studios with more Cardinal Kickoff. I'm Roen Elbert. That's Sam Klug. It's always a beautiful day to talk about Cardinal football, especially today.
It is today, and it's all, like you said, always beautiful. The weather outside might be a little crappy today, but man, talking about Ball State football, I look forward to it every week.
Yeah, don't talk about that weather outside. I don't want to think about that. But Sam, for the Cardinals, their last performance against Eastern Michigan didn't quite go the way they had planned. It was their home finale, senior day. They fall 24-9. Just what were your takeaways all in all?
Yeah, the takeaways, it's really disappointing to go out at home on a low note like they did. They had a chance to go 5-0 in the shoe, which would have been quite the accomplishment, and even reaching 5 wins as a program. Again, it didn't go their way. The offense really struggled early on, especially missing that presence of Quay Ashley out with an injury. But they still leave themselves with a chance to make a bowl game. They have to win the final 2 games on the road. But, yeah, putting themselves in that spot isn't good. But, hey, they got 2 more chances.
Yeah, the big thing I noticed watching that game was it was missed opportunities. Like, yeah, sure, missing Quay Ashley, that's big. But T.J. Horton, he did step up in the opportunities where they called on him. It was the missed opportunities in the red zone, the Kyle Kelly interception. Then they were inside the 10-yard line. You had that 15-yard penalty that knocked them back. It was stuff like that, in my opinion, I don't know about you, Sam, truly was the difference.
It was the difference. I mean, those are just 2 drives that really should have gone their way or even gotten some more points on the board other than the 9 they got from those 3 field goals. And then you also look at the box score. I mean, Noah Kim threw 2 interceptions. Those 2 interceptions should have turned really into something, especially when the opposing quarterback is giving away the ball 2 times, which he had himself a nice day. But the defense kind of stood up there for a while. I mean, letting up 24 points is not the greatest, but it could have been more. And the fact they were able to have 2 takeaways was impressive, and the offense just, again, fell short, kind of ran out of steam.
The thing people don't realize is there's also another aspect of it, an emotional aspect of some great Cardinals just played their last game at Schumann Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, you look down the line, Kyle Kelly and Qian Magwood come to mind. I mean, Qian Magwood's all the way back from that MAC title team in 2020. It is sad because, you know, they had the chance to go 5-0. They had the chance to win at home in front of their fans, and we actually got a nice day for some football on Saturday. It wasn't too bad early on. We've had some nice weather here, and a lot of people were out in support. But like you said, just a missed opportunity, and it's emotional. It is. I mean, a lot of these guys have put their blood, sweat, and tears into the program and its success, and it didn't go their way. I'm
glad you mentioned just the weather. It's so different from right now. I was able to walk outside, and I'm like, oh, that's a pleasant surprise. But I have to say, you're absolutely right. You put the nail right on the head. Like, you talk about guys like Joey Stemler, too. People who just put their blood, sweat, and tears into the program. It's a shame that in their last game at Schumann, it didn't quite work out. But we know really just as good as anybody, it's far from over. We got 2 games left.
Indeed, we do. And another guy that comes to mind is Nathan Voris, a guy who's only been here 1 year, but he's close to setting the all-time sacks record in a season for the Cardinals again. There was a lot of turnover from last year's team with the head coaching change, but even if they've been here for a year or 5 years like Magwood has, they still mean a lot to this program, and they know the culture that Coach U is building and that the fans want, what the success means to the fans as well and the community.
And for more on the senior day loss, we caught up with head coach Mike Uremovich.
Yes, it is. All right, excited for opportunity to get back on the field and go try to win a game on the road. We're playing a really good opponent. Coach Cano does a great job. He runs a great program. They're in it every year. Defensively, they're one of the top defenses in the country. They're only allowing 88 yards a game rushing. They got 10 interceptions, I think 46 TFLs. They have great players at every level of their defense. They do a great job stopping the run. They play a lot of man-to-man coverage. Offensively, the quarterback, extremely talented, thrown for over 2,100 yards, has not thrown a lot of interceptions. Both backs are physical, downhill guys. They're really explosive at the receiver position. One of their kick returners also makes some plays as a receiver. And then kick return and punt returners are 2 of the best in the league. The one kid had a 100-yard one against Northern. Several other good returns, and their punt returner makes plays with the ball. So it's going to be a real good challenge for us. We got to get back to work starting tomorrow and go try to win a game on the road. Well, yesterday, after a loss, Saturday's hard and Sunday's always hard too. And we had to, it's the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And we were not disciplined as a football team, so we got to deal with the pain of regret. And learn from it and move on. It's a great learning experience for us. You'd like to win and learn, but sometimes losing and not getting what you want is a great teacher.
Those road demons.
Well, I mean, honestly, God, none of those other games mean anything right now. We're only playing Toledo once this year, and it's a one opportunity to go play them on the road. So, obviously, we have struggled on the road, but it's not something we're going to talk about all day long because we can't do anything about those. We can only get ready for this week.
Back with more Cardinal Kickoff. Sam, it's that time of year. It's bowl season. And for Ball State to make their first bowl game since 2021, they're going to have to win out on the road. They have to win on the road, which is something they haven't done all season, having to face Toledo this Saturday, Miami the next. It's going to be tough, to say the least.
It's going to be really tough, to say the least. I mean, winning on the road point blank is hard, and then you take into consideration the MAC, one of the conferences where a lot of teams kind of beat up on each other. I mean, you look at the standings, you got Western Michigan at 5-1, and then you have 5 teams at 4-2. Just a crazy year for the MAC as a whole. But again, these teams beat up on each other. They get wins and losses versus teams they shouldn't be, or maybe they even should. So it's going to be interesting. And then you take into consideration the teams they're playing. Toledo sitting at 6-4. They're already bowl bound, but they're fighting for a spot in the MAC championship. So is Miami. 4-2 in the conference, 5-5 overall. They still need that one win to get to a bowl themselves. So it's going to be the tallest task this team has faced all year.
Yeah, this is a Toledo team. Looking at them, they've consistently been one of the most successful programs in the MAC. That's continuing this year. 4-2 in MAC play, well in contention to make the title game. Like I said, 4-2, and not only that, one of those losses was to the number 1 team in the conference right now, Western Michigan, by only 1 point. Last week, midweek action, a 24-3, just a statement win over Miami, their rival, the 2 teams that were probably in the preseason viewed as the 2 best in the MAC. This Toledo team just firing on all cylinders.
They are, and it really stems from their quarterback play. I mean, Tucker Gleason is just 1 yard short of passing for 2,200 yards. And an interesting note about him, he's only thrown 7 picks on the year. He has not thrown one at home. So that's another thing that the Cardinals really need to take into consideration. They took away the ball twice in the last game. This guy doesn't turn it over at his home field. They're going to try and break that spell, and they're going to need it because this is a really talented Toledo team.
Tucker Gleason is one of the more elite quarterbacks in the Mid-American Conference. Then you're coming off a game where you got the best of Noah Kim, who is up there. Even Mike Uremovich said it. He's one of, if not the best quarterback in the MAC. They got the best of him, but they couldn't get it done. What's it going to take for Ball State to take full advantage of the Rockets?
Yeah, well, they're going to need to get started hot on offense pretty early on. We saw it a lot in some of these games they've lost, which have been pretty close, whether that's the NIU game, the Western game, or even the Eastern game last week, that the offense just has repeated drives, especially in that first half where they stall, whether that's in the red zone or right around midfield. If they can get the run game established and get Kyle comfortable in that pocket, Toledo's going to have themselves some problems.
It really is like a Game 7 type of feel with these games, which is exactly what Qian Magwood said when he spoke to the media earlier this week.
I really haven't talked to everybody yet. We had a team meeting and stuff, but I know I'm pretty sure everybody just, full head of steam to the next game, just turning the page. It obviously sucks, for the seniors, me specifically, being a senior, knowing that feeling. I know it sucks personally, but there's nothing you really can do about it, It's opportunity is gone, but all you can really do is just learn from it and move forward at Toledo. So that's what we plan to do. Really, I'll just speak offensively. I play offense, so I would just say we got to finish drives. We got to score points. That's the name of the game. You can't. Our defense, 24 points in 2025, holding the offense to 24 points. You should be in most games. And I believe the offense let them down in that aspect, and I'll take that personally. With me, like I said, being one of the older players, experienced players, receivers, I take that personally when the offense is struggling. So, moving forward, we got a great opportunity with Toledo. A great defense, highly rated. They don't give them many points, and their offense scores a lot of points. So the offense is going to need to score points, and I feel like that's something that we have to do, not just this game, but just moving forward. As many games we have left. So, yeah. Yeah, man, it's kind of like just a game 7 mentality, especially for the seniors, These two are really the only 2 guaranteed games in our lives, you know what I'm saying? Because if you get a Senior Bowl or whatever invites, however that goes, or it's nothing's guaranteed for the seniors definitely, but just for this team specifically, the last time that this team could be together depends on these 2 weeks. So we're just moving full head of steam, knowing that it's win or go home. So definitely.
Back with more Cardinal Kickoff. Joining us in the studio, Jordan Klimes, who's played such an integral part in Together. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Jordan, I just want to ask you, you're the main editor, it seems like at this point, for Together. What does a week in the life look for you?
Yeah, that's a good question. For me, as you said, I do most of the editing. Jude does a lot of it too. We kind of split it. But for me, Monday mornings after the games, we're doing a lot of we go out and do the interviews. So everything you see with the players in that sit-down setting, we're doing there. And so we go out Monday, do that, come back Monday afternoon, start editing that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday is a lot of getting the story worked out. Tuesday is kind of logistically getting everything together. And then Wednesday is a lot of audio, coloring, and kind of transitions, all that type of stuff. So we've have it down to a bit of a pattern now. It's super busy Monday through most of Thursday. About Thursday afternoon, we're done, and it comes out Thursdays at 5. So it's a very busy schedule, but we're always on the clock and working hard, and it's a good process we got going.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fun to edit everything, and I'm sure you're having a blast. But what's been your favorite part of the whole experience? As this is the biggest project SportsLink has ever done.
Yeah. Well, the way you phrase that question is kind of how I would answer that, is the fact that this is the biggest project that SportsLink has ever done, and maybe that's self-proclaimed, but I've been here for a long time, and I think that's the case. I mean, this is super ambitious what we're doing. Every week we're releasing an episode. We've done follow docs before, but nothing to this extent. And in my opinion, not to brag on it, but nothing to the skill level that we've actually executed it at. So I think my favorite part of it has just been being a part of this process, really challenging myself as an editor and producer on all this, and working with other people too to try to figure out how this is all done. It's been fun to be a part of the process, and they always harp on a 1-week season. For us too, it's kind of the same way, where every week we're trying to get better. Every week we learn how to do things better and make things work faster. And so I think my favorite part has been the process and being part of something that's been so special.
Jordan, you're going to hate me. I'm going to brag about you a little bit more.
Okay, go ahead. I think I'll like it. Go ahead.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
I come in here at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. some nights, and you're there. You're grinding out the edit. How do you do that?
It's just a mentality thing, honestly. They always say you have to love what you do. And as much as sometimes I'd like to be back home watching football or something at 8 p.m. or, there was a night on the second episode where I was in here until 2 in the morning. And I know I think Jude was in here later one of those nights too. So we've had some late nights, but just like anything, you have to love it to really want to do it. And there's times where it can be a quote unquote burden for me, or it takes over. I don't get to do as much homework as a student as I would like to. But you just have to really be willing to come in and do it. You have to love wanting to do it. And so I come in here, at 8 p.m. or maybe it is 2 a.m. like I said before, and just excited to get to work and excited to tell stories. It's really something that I love to do. And so that's the reason I am able to do it, is because I just love it.
Do your roommates, have they forgotten who you are at this point?
Yeah. My roommate, we're always talking about how, hey, what time are you gonna be home? And I told him last night, I'm like, dude, I'm done trying to guess what time I'm gonna be home. I'll see you when I see you.
So this team right now, 4-6, they got to win the last 2 games to make a bowl game, and they've shown flashes of being really good. What have you liked so far this season in the new Coach U era?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me coming into this season was exactly what you said. New Coach U era, a lot of different people on the staff. Some of the players are the same, but a lot of turnover, as it kind of just happens in Mid-American Conference football as well, year by year. And I really liked how this team, and I'm going to use the word, has come together to really put something on the field that a lot of fans might not have expected coming into the season. Ball State was not ranked very high in the MAC coming into the season. The expectations were super low from an outside perspective, and talking to people on the inside, they knew what they could do, and that they're in a position right now where they could still try to push for a bowl game, and got a win out here. But I've just liked how they have, the mentality they've had. They've had some big wins. That Ohio win really stands out to me. And the culture around the team has been really fun. I've loved to see what Coach U has done in his first year here. I'm excited to see what he continues to do.
When those wins happen, do you get excited to know you're going to be the one putting that story out there?
Yeah, when they got the Ohio win, I was back home for fall break watching at my sister's house, actually. And she just had a baby, and I don't think I was holding the baby yet. But she's like, "Do you want to hold it?" I was like, wait, I got to see what happens here because I got to go crazy for Ball State first. Then I'll hold the baby. They ended up getting the win. I was celebrating. My family was happy alongside me. Chirp, chirp. They loved the Cards as well. So yeah, I'm a fan just as much as all these other people are. Of course, you got to be professional in the setting when you're, talking to them or when you're editing. You have to respect that aspect of it. But, that stuff, winning big games like that, and this team being as good as they have been this year has been fun for us to, they're staying competitive. It gives us storylines to follow, and that's what you ask for as a storyteller.
Going into the interview shoot on Monday for the episode that's coming out Thursday together, which was, again, a loss to Eastern Michigan, a rough one. Going into that where you're talking to Kyle Kelly, you're talking to Coach Uremovich, talking to Qian Magwood, like that loss stung so much. How do you go into that interview?
Going into there, we talk about it every week, kind of what questions we want to ask them, and a lot of times my first thing that I kind of say is, what's the storyline of the week? What happened? What are the emotions? And I think this episode you're going to see coming out here, or you already kind of saw coming out here, so go ahead and watch that back. But there's so much emotion in this game because it was senior day for guys like Kyle Kelly and Qian Magwood. Like you said, they're guys who are never going to play a game in Schumann Stadium again. And although they have 2 games left in the season to play, there's still a lot to play for. They're still playing for the bowl game, like I said. There's just the raw emotion of that is something that going into the episode we really wanted to cover. And so just asking questions, not only about what happened or scenarios in the game, but what were the emotions of when this happened? When the game was over, clock hit 0, what were the emotions here? As you're sitting here now, how are you feeling about the rest of the season? Questions like that, you really get the raw emotion of some of these seniors who have given, a lot of their older life to this Ball State football program right now. And it's, it's just something that we wanted to harp on this week, and every week it kind of changes.
Is there a certain position group or someone in that, I guess, Ball State family that you've really grown to appreciate getting to know or just talking with on a day or on a weekly basis, I should say?
Yeah, we have Coach U every week, and it's good that, I'm very happy that he's able to do that for us. And so it's been nice to get to know him again. First year here, first time meeting him was week 1 when I did this and was sitting down talking to him. And every week, obviously it's a working relationship, it's professional, but we're able to sit down and talk about, Ball State volleyball is doing good things right now and other things as well. So been nice to meet him. Of course, Kyle, we've had him on a bunch of times too, and just really nice to see the personalities. As we were talking about before, I'm a fan of a lot of these guys, have been a fan of a lot of these guys. It's my 5th year here now, so I've seen a lot of them, and just really no particular player stands out to me. They really all have been great, and not just saying that, they really have. But it's just been nice to get to know them as people rather than just players.
Yeah, I'm going to get a little sentimental here.
Sure.
Believe it or not, I am. So we're in week 11 or 12. We're in that range. What would week 11 or 12 Jordan tell week 1 Jordan going into this process?
Coming into this, I had expectations that it was going to be a lot. But, it has exceeded those expectations in all the right ways, I think. So what I would tell myself is just enjoy every day. It's a long process, and it's something that I love to do. And there's going to be days where I walk in here and maybe it's like, oh, why do I have to sit back in front of that computer again? My eyes hurt. But just remember why you love the craft, and remember that it's a blessing to be where you are. People at other schools and other situations might really want an opportunity like this, and we've wanted an opportunity like this to be able to tell a fellow doc of the Ball State football team we finally got the opportunity this year. So just embracing the opportunity, knowing every minute's a blessing. I think that's just what I would have to tell myself at the beginning of this, and that's what I continue to tell myself as we continue to roll on.
Yeah, a new episode of Together is out now. You can watch that on YouTube, anywhere on socials. We'll be right back with more Cardinal Kickoff. The Cardinal Kickoff is a Ball State SportsLink production. Back in the Betsy M. Ross SportsLink studios with more Cardinal Kickoff. This Saturday against Toledo, such a big game, but you look ahead, it's Miami the next week. Let's put it into perspective, the situation going on with Miami right now. Quarterback Daquan Finn, Mid-American Conference legend. Speaking of Toledo, he was there for 5 seasons, was last year at Baylor. then goes to Miami for this season, mid-season leaves the team to get ready for the NFL draft. That's the reason they gave. But that's such a big loss for Miami. You're losing one of the best quarterbacks in the conference right there. And I guess on that note, big for Ball State.
Huge for Ball State. I mean, you're looking at a guy who was really putting Miami in contention to not only possibly make the MAC tournament, but also, get to a pretty high up bowl game. I mean, this is a Miami team that's historically probably one of the best, if not the best, MAC football programs. And it's really unlikely to see that at the mid-major level, as you would say, or the lower group in Division I. A lot of these quarterbacks who prepare for the draft come from the high schools, whether that's the Big Ten or the SEC, even the Big 12, who buy out of bowl games. Another thing is, we're not even at the end of the season. You would expect him to sit out in a bowl game or maybe even the MAC championship, but we're not even there yet. They actually still have 2 games on their roster. They have one after Ball State in Central Michigan. So yeah, very unlikely and huge for Ball State, especially throwing in a quarterback who probably doesn't know the offense as well as Finn does.
It's funny, Sam, because me and Max a couple of weeks ago were talking about, man, the last 2 weeks are going to be tough. You got Gleason for Toledo and then Finn for Miami with your quarterbacks you have to face. Now that's out the window with Finn.
Yeah, and I wonder if it proves to be a harder prep for this Ball State team. They've probably really been getting ready for Finn at quarterback for most of the season, and now all that prep is pretty much thrown in the garbage. Does it change a lot? Probably not, because Miami probably has a somewhat similar system in place for whoever their backup may be. But, the defense is really going to have to lock in and watch as much film as they can and see what kind of schemes Miami might throw their way, especially with this quarterback change.
And look at just how much they struggled without Finn in their first game without him. Midweek action against one of the best defenses in the MAC in Toledo, which Ball State will have to face later this week. Only 3 points on the board, no touchdowns. It's going to be an adjustment, and maybe the Cardinals can catch them lacking.
They could. They really could. And also, I think it's Ball State's best chance to get a win later on in the season. I mean, overall, Ball State has struggled versus Miami in the Redbird rivalry, a rival they probably would love to beat sometime soon, especially with losing the stock this year. So again, like you said, they might be able to take advantage of a team that kind of got taken by surprise of their quarterback leaving.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I think it was me and you earlier. We were saying, yeah, the bronze stalk, no more. The Redbird rivalry, that's like the main thing now. If it wasn't already, it really is like the main thing now, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, me too, and especially with how long of a drought Ball State has been in versus Miami. They're kind of on the rise right now. I mean, with a new head coach, we'll see what kind of recruits he brings in next year and continues his offensive system that he's implemented in year 1. It's really exciting. I mean, this is Ball State's first new head coach in 10 years. Miami probably hasn't seen a new Ball State head coach in a long time. A lot of the people on the staff probably haven't seen a new head coach. So it's exciting for both times. And again, like you said, it's the main rivalry now. This is our focus every year, other than when we play an in-state rival with NIU leaving. It's Ball State versus Miami. That's the main game.
Yeah, and with these final 2 games, it's the final games for a lot of great seniors. What would Coach Uremovich's message, what should the message be to these seniors for these final 2 games?
Don't take it for granted. I heard him in a presser on some video, but like he said, you only get 12 sacred Saturdays, and I think that encapsulates college football so well. These Saturdays are sacred to a lot of these players and coaches and even administrators. Even for us, we only get 4 years in school. College football Saturdays mean a lot to fans and families, but players most of all. It's the last 2 weeks they'll get to play with all their brothers on the field. And again, after this, a lot of people go their separate ways, whether they prepare for the NFL, or even a different league like the CFL or the UFL, or they go into the workforce. So this is the last time they might be playing organized semi-professional sports, and yeah, it's a sacred time to say the least.
It's all about perspective. I mean, even for me, like in that press box last Saturday with Eastern Michigan calling that game, you can't take these moments like that for granted. You really can't.
No, you can't at all. I mean, not many people get even the opportunity to sit in a chair like this and talk about Ball State football, a program that's pretty historic and has been a blast to watch this year. There's been so many good moments. I think of the Ohio game. That was awesome, that Qian Magwood touchdown. that they were even able to go to games like Purdue and Auburn playing in an SEC environment. The UConn game was a thriller and a shootout, even though they came up short. Yeah, you can't take it for granted. Nothing that happens, whether that's on the football field or here in the studio.
And you know what, Sam? We're not done yet. 2 weeks left, and it starts this Saturday. The Ball State Cardinals on the road taking on the Toledo Rockets, and that's it for us.
The Cardinal Kickoff is a Ball State SportsLink production.